Hi guys, I hope you love painting Christmas cards as I do. So today I have for you this beautiful red bow Christmas card with gold bells, which is a classy Christmas card. Bells are painted with a metallic watercolor set, so let's jump into it and have a fun. What do we need? Watercolors, of course, and there is a list of supplies or list of colors, and I drop down the link where you can get them. Then this amazing metallic set, I drop down the link as well, just to check your description. And of course, postcard. I've created this postcard from 100% cotton paper sheet, folded it in half, and that's it. Template you can download from the link below, and there is a list of supplies and other useful stuff in the ebook as well. I fixed my postcard on the thick cardboard only with a simple binder clip, and this is pretty much everything. Watercolors. We are gonna use these few colors. Red tones, let's say Scarlet Red, it's a vivid color, and then darker red color, I've used Alizarin Crimson Red, some green tones, raw sienna, burnt sienna, and this is pretty much everything, really. I'm using this my palette loaded with half pans of Winsor and Newton colors and a gold metallic set. Brushes. Use the smaller one, number 4, this is the first one, and the second one is even smaller, number 2. To get rid of the lines or soften the lines, I'm using this soft eraser. Okay, let's start with painting. I'm gonna start off with a red bow. Mix a vivid red, mine is Scarlet Red, with a small bit of water into a rich, milky consistency, and wet the right part of the bow with the clean water. We are gonna paint wet to wet technique first. Start painting from the central part and spread it along edges on the top. Let the middle part light as much as possible to enhance the highlight there. You can lift up color with a dry clean brush a bit if you overworked this area. Move to the left side. Mix your red with a darker Alizarin Crimson Red and a pinch of burnt sienna and enhance the inside part of the bows. This is the part where the ribbons are folded. With this dark mixture, slightly enhance both sides of the bow in the central part and on the top. Your painting is still slightly wet, so your colors started to blending to each other really smoothly. Paint two parts of the bow behind, let's say ribbons behind. Spread the color evenly with a brush. Okay, ribbons. Paint them with a light red mixture that you already have on your palette. Move on the left one. We are gonna enhance the contrast between the bow and ribbon behind, so mix the red with a pinch of Payne's grey and darken the ribbon behind. I switched my brush to smaller number 2 and I deepened the inside part of the bow with the same dark red mixture, which is mixture Alizarin Crimson, Scarlet Red and Burnt Sienna. I keep going to enhance the ribbon on the right side. Start from the top and with brisk short strokes deepen this part. Clean and wet your brush and spread the second red layer neatly to the edge. Let the middle part light to create a highlight there. Move to the left one. With a dark red mixture, I'm painting along the edges of the ribbons to create a better contrast. I'm trying with my finger to see if my painting is dry enough to drop down the last layer. I'm painting neat lines along the edges, creating shadows to get the 3D effect. On the top and in the middle of the left bow, I'm enhancing these parts with a dark red color. And I'm softening the whole part with a wet clean brush to blend colors smoothly. Move to the right and paint a small red drop first in the center and then move on the top. Then, with a clean wet brush, blend the colors with a previous layer to get a smooth velvet look. Okay, while waiting to dry up our ribbons, let's drop down a few branches. Dip your brush into dark brown burnt sienna color and pull down strokes where Christmas green branches will be. I'm just correcting fuzzy lines here and there because they are so annoying with a clean brush. Let's move on to the bells. And I'm gonna start off with an underlayer before I put down gold metallic colors. Wet the middle part of the bells with clean water. Tip of your brush into raw sienna color and start to paint along the edge down. Sometimes my students are naming this raw sienna color like mustard. Spread the color towards the wet part so the color start to blend really naturally. Adjust this mustard color a little bit, but keep your middle part as light as possible. Don't forget a rim at the bottom. Because bells have a round shape, we need to paint some shadows there along the edges to enhance this shape, let's say. Mix burnt sienna with water into a watery diluted color and start to paint on the left side. Pull the color down a bit into the middle. Along the rim as well. Keep a white hairy line between the two rims at the bottom. Then jump on another one. I dropped down too much color, so I'm lifting it up with my dry brush. I'm adding a bit of rich raw sienna color on both sides. Okay, the inside part of the bell is gonna be dark brown. Mix burnt sienna with a drop of water and pull along the upper edge a first line. Drop down the next color, which is raw sienna, and blend them smoothly together. Try to paint lines neatly to avoid a fuzzy look. With the darkest brown mixture, enhance the second bell and let it dry. My left bell is dried, so I can pull down a thick line, which is a mixture of my dark brown with burnt sienna and water. Blend colors as a layer smoothly and soften the edges with a clean brush. My ribbon is completely dry, so I can deepen the parts behind the bow. Mix Alizarin Crimson Red with a burnt sienna into a dark red color and paint the line between the bow and ribbon. Enhance inside parts, lines here and there and on the top. Let's jump to paint some tree needles. I still have my brush number 2 and I have mixed Sap Green with a pinch of burnt sienna into a deep green mixture. And I'm just pulling out small green needles with brisk strokes. Don't create them neatly in line, let's say. Tree needles are a bit chaotic. Paint them more organic and messy. Behind the bell is also something going on, even if brown branches aren't visible, so paint green needles there as well. The left part, upper part, and on the top. To paint a small tiny white tree buttons in the middle, use thick titanium white at the tip of your brush and drop down the small white dots. You can contour a rim on the ribbon as well if you prefer to or if you would like to, and I'm using a white jelly pen. Okay, let's have a fun with gold metallic colors. But firstly, be sure your bells are completely dry. Dip your brush into gold metallic watercolor and start decorating your bells. On the surface, inside of the bells, cover them with a gold glittering color. With a thick raw sienna, let's paint a heart of the bell. Paint a little ball and add some white dot like highlight. Add a few darker details along the edges and you are done. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my today's tutorials and see you next time. Bye!